Okay. Good evening, everybody. Good morning in Mombasa. Today is the 12th of March in Vancouver, 13th of March, 2025 in Mombasa. Happy Holi. So today is a day where we burn all our negative energies and bring in the positive energies with the full moon that comes up together with that on the 14th. So today we are going to go over repeating numbers. So we're decoding the grid so we can understand a little bit more on how to look at a grid. So we're going to be decoding it today and understand a little bit more about it. Okay. So a little tidbit that I learned actually today, and I thought I would share. I've already shared it with my other batch. Is the Loshu grid actually has got a different name in Jyotish in Hindi. They call it Panch Das Akshari. Have you ever heard of that? Panch Das Akshari. Yes. So it is actually called the Panch Das Akshari. And yeah, it actually comes from the Jyotish. It's just that we have not been we find it a little difficult to say those words, so we use the Loshu grid. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. And let's talk about decoding repeating numbers. So, as I had mentioned last time, we had gone over till number 4. Okay. So, if you really look at it, when you actually look at the grid on Vedic astrology, we usually have on the Vedic, it's the Vedic grid, we always have the double 4 and double 8. Okay, so when we look at it, we say it's good to have double 8. Can you see that? Can you see the grid? Yeah, let me just make it a little bigger for you. Okay, so we usually say double 8, double 4 is good. When there's singles in the grid, it's good. Okay, so when we are actually doing the repeating numbers, right, we will find that when we talk about 4s, double 4 is good to have. Okay, generally, anyways, to have 2 is good, as I mentioned. You have 1 is good, 2 is excellent, 3 is okay, and then as we get into 4 and 5, we're declining. So it's like having too much salt, having not enough salt, and having too much salt. Okay, so but when we look at 4 and 8, 4 and 8 are the only ones that you say double 4 or double 8, double 4, double 8, or 4 4s or 4 8s is okay, is positive. Okay, so it gives you a positive effect. So let's keep going. Okay, and let's move on. So what is number 5? What is number 5 related to? It's the center of the grid when you look at the Loshu grid, but it is also a number of Mercury. Mercury is considered stability, right? Mercury is communication. Mercury is it has no enemies when you really look at it, as in the enemies and friend zone. It has no enemies. Yeah, it might have some neutrals, but it has no enemies. So there's only 2 in the grid, 7 and 5. Okay, don't have enemies. Okay, and easiest for you to remember is that in the Loshu grid, 5 goes in the middle, and in the Vedic grid, 7 goes in the middle. Okay, so that's the easiest way to remember it. Okay, all right, so let's keep going. Okay, so what is number 5? Is emotionally balanced, as I mentioned just a minute ago, and stable. Okay, the quality of bouncing back. So what that means is that if they have an issue, they will bounce right back from it easily. Okay, they've got a very strong will, okay, to survive. Okay, um basically their luck supports them. So if you usually see a number 5 is a very stable a personality or destiny, whichever they have, right? Or even if it is in their grid, it's a very good thing to have, right? It stabilizes their life. Okay. It's a blessing to keep connected to a number five. So one of the things that my teacher mentioned is that what he does is he doesn't have a number five in his grid, and nobody in his family has a five. So what he does is he calls a friend of his every so often to his house and says, "Come sit here, and give me your energies," basically. So he kind of uses him to bring the positive energies in his house. It's quite interesting. But he has also a house that is a number five. He's got a number 23 as his house, so it's okay. These individuals are hardworking and love to work long hours. They have a limited number of friends. So they are very choosy and picky. What that means is they're very choosy and picky before they actually get to be your best friend. Okay. So they're not going to just become your best friend just like that. Okay. If they have two, they're very stable. So as I mentioned, one is good, two is excellent. Okay, very stable and bounce back. They have a bounce back quality, which is easier, as I mentioned earlier. They're multitasker. They work smart. They don't work hard. They work smart, right? Because they've got good communication. So they will pass on their jobs. They work smart, not hard. Okay. They love their own freedom. So that's the reason why we say when you have a number one or number five, they would do really well in their own business. Okay, they would do really, really well. And especially if they're born in the 1900, they make a 951 right there, a 951 yoke. So what is a 951 yoke? We generally say anybody with a 951, you should be self-employed. Okay. Um, so they like that they love money, which is true. Okay. They're very hard spenders. They don't spend very easily. Okay. They are very, very they love their money, and they're very, very hard to give out that money out. Okay. They should only be in business. So there we go, I just mentioned that. They have a hard time trusting, so they don't trust somebody very easily. They will question you to death before they even give you a penny. Okay. Like my ex-husband, he's a five as his destiny. And when you really look at it, and I'm a number three, right, as a destiny. So what happens is that whenever there's a donation, somebody comes and asks money, I'll say, hi, okay, take it. And he'll ask you the whole, like, what you're gonna do, why you want it, what is it, what is not, when somebody comes and asks you for money. He wants to make sure, okay, I'm giving you that money, but I'm hoping that you are not going to abuse or mistrust me, right? So that's what a number five is really. Okay. They look young. Now, why is it that they look young? So if you look at the mythology, five is Mercury, Buddha. So when you look at it, it's actually they associate number five to a prince. A prince is young, yes? Yeah. So anybody with a number five generally looks very young. Okay, they age gracefully. We say they age gracefully. Okay. They should be physically active. Now, why do we say that? Because number five likes sitting at their desk. They do not like moving a lot. Okay, so we always suggest number five, number eight, and number nine work out, obviously for different reasons. Okay, very, very different reasons. We say these numbers should work out. Number five is one because they get everything, but then they don't take care of their health. Okay. And then number eight is Shani Bhagwan. Shani Bhagwan is Saturn, basically, right? So Saturn is the slowest planet in the solar system, right? So you have to work hard. And how do you work hard? One of the ways for you to work hard is work out. You sweat. You gotta sweat. So we always say to ease your life, sweat a little bit during the day. Okay, sweat, work hard. Okay, and then when you look at number nine is Mars, an aggressive planet, right? So they need to release the aggression. How do they release the aggression? Work out again. Okay, but generally we say everybody should work out. Okay, it's good for their health. But because when you sweat, you're releasing all your toxins. But these are the numbers that we always ask. Work out a little bit. Okay. Okay. Um, and then when we get into 3 and more, okay, if you see, I haven't added anything after that because what happens is that it decreases, it goes everything in reverse, okay? They cannot handle the work pressure, financial losses, can be rough verbally, so which means they do become very verbal, okay? They are very adventurous, okay? So they love to travel. Number 5, good for traveling and stuff like that as well. Okay. Number 6, more so, but number 5 as well. Very adventurous. But everything goes in reverse. So whatever you see in when they have 1 or 2 in the grid, okay, when they get into 3, 4, and 5, they become it goes in reverse. Okay. So let's keep going. 6 is what is 6? Okay. 6 is Venus. Now, what is Venus associated with? Home and family, luxury, um, gold, right? So anything to do with gold business. Number 6 is great. Luxury, very good. Family, home. Okay. So here's a very good example, actually, number 6. I just looked at a grid not too long ago, and I will go over that. So when they have one 6 in their chart, they're good at home, okay? And they love their family, and they get a lot of support from their family, okay? They're very connected. Now, when we actually do marriage and relationships, in the next class, we will see that the person that is missing a 6 and is having a love marriage, generally 4, 7, 6 are generally the numbers that we look at for love marriage. One of them has that means that they've had a love marriage, okay? But if one of them is missing a 6, you will see that the family will not accept that love marriage, okay? Right? The family will give a hard time to the other when there is a love marriage coming through. Okay. So um they're very connected and very protective over their family and their children. Okay. They are the center of attraction. So wherever there is a number 6, right? If they don't show up, you will miss them. But when they're there, they're always in the middle of that whole, center of attraction. They love to be right in the center of everything. Okay. Specifically when they have got a personality or destiny 6. So when I was mentioning that the personality and destiny gives it more weight, it amplifies whatever it is. So it just gives it a little bit more weight to it. Okay. So whatever you see has got a little bit more weight. Okay. It's a little bit more powerful. Um, they do not attend. Okay. So if they don't attend a family function, they're noticed, right? That they're not there. Okay. They have a very good fashion sense. So if you see somebody with 6, right, generally in their grid, right, and if it's personality or destiny, they have a really good fashion sense. They love to dress up. They love to look good. They love to be in fashion. Okay. And are very presentable. They'll be very beautiful. You will see that there's beauty. Okay. And if you get a 5 and 6 together, my goodness, they've got like both. They've got beauty and they've got, they're aging gracefully. Okay. They're very good advisors, and they love good food. Okay. They're foodies. Number 6 are foodies. And I have found many number 6s of foodies as well, right? That's why we say, if you want to become a chef, 6 is good for you. Okay, 1 is good, 6 is good, 9 is good. 9 because of the fire. Okay, so they're near fire. It's good for them, right? Because that actually helps with it amplifies their number now for 9. Okay. Um, and then when it comes to 6, when there's double 6, they get very concerned with their family. So they become more attached. Okay. They become more attached to their family. Okay. They're overly involved in the family. So any family affairs, they more so they start becoming helicopter parents. So I think I mentioned to you guys last time what helicopter parenting is. Did I mention to you guys what helicopter parenting is? I Pina, you don't remember? Okay. So it's a North American term. It is like, a helicopter over your head. Yeah. It's a nuisance. It's always over your head, hovering over your head, looking over you, right? Every time you go left, they know you're going left. Every time you go right, they know you're going right. Okay. So in North America, we say helicopter parenting. So basically you're like, you know, your child just takes one step and you're like there, somebody comes and, fights with your child, you're there, it's like we call it helicopter parenting. So obsessive over their family and their children. Okay, so it's very much like
I think we
helicopter.
have a
Ina.
I think we have a movie as well, Helicopter, with Kajol and her son.
Oh, is it?
Similar kind of that story, yeah.
Oh, is it? There's a movie? Okay.
Like the son will do anything and mom will be behind him.
Right. Okay.
Pina is going. Yeah. So Pina,
Are you a 6?
she's a 5 and 6.
Allah. Okay.
5 and
Okay.
6.
Oh, Pina froze. She's trying to say something. Pina, you froze.
Yeah. My personality is 5 and my destiny is 6.
Oh, so you relate to all this stuff. Okay, good.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, my final number
Okay.
boy comes.
So they have a hard time taking criticism or advice, okay? Because they have an ego quite often. So they feel that they're right. But when it comes to 3, it just becomes more. Okay. They're very devoted towards their family. They're good at they can be manipulative, okay, and gaslighting. So when it comes to 3 6s and 4 6s, it just becomes more and more. So they're obsessed towards their family and kids. They do not allow their kids and wife to leave without telling them. So it's like, I don't know if you have that in Kenya, but we have Google Maps where you can share your location, right? So if you have too many 6s, this is what happens. This is the case that you will find, right? They're very insecure and can be negative. Sometimes they do even speak in reverse, as in they speak everything is negative towards them. They feel like everything is negative, right? So whatever is the positive of number 6 goes in reverse. Okay. They have trust issues. They will have a hard time finding success. Why is that? It's because every positive is now going in reverse unless they recognize it. So just like anything, this is just a roadmap. So one of the things that I was talking to another friend of mine, and I looked at his grid because he's traveling this week. And I mentioned, I said, keep your cool. Okay, just an example. And his month is a number 9. So what happens? There's Mangal. Mangal is what? Mars is hot, right? So keep your cool. And he called me yesterday. He says, Farzana, thank you so much for telling me this, because now I know that I need to observe myself to make sure that I keep my cool. So like I mentioned before, that you are driving a car, there's a road bump coming over there. Slow down and then go over the road bump. So this is basically a science, okay? It's a science that is being used by many people in Hollywood, in Bollywood. Actually, Oprah had a numerologist 3 times on her show. I didn't even know. I just found out. So this is nothing new, but it is being used by millionaires, billionaires, more billionaires than millionaires, not very much by millionaires, right? So JP Morgan, if you know, JP Morgan is a financial institution that does use numerology for many things. Okay, so when we look at it, it does have a lot of weight and a lot of science. Sometimes there's some things we just have to be careful, and we just have to, it's like a little bit of garbage will come in. We just have to sift through it. Okay, and we learn through the process. Okay, just like you will learn, I will learn, we all learn through the process. Okay. And that's the reason why when you do case studies, and I'll show you some of the case studies when we stop recording, I will show you a case. We did case studies on the weekend with my teacher, because we do also do case studies. So we did some case studies, and I'll show you what they look like. Okay. Okay. So when it comes to more than 4 or more with the number 6, they become they cause more, so they have more expenses. So they become more spend they start spending a lot. Okay, so that can, everything can go in reverse for them, right? Because they want to live a luxurious life, but they spend without thinking. Okay. um Oops, what happened there? Did we just miss that? Okay. Oh, repeating numbers. Let's go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so they become a little bit more obsessed towards their family and kids. They do not allow their kids or wife to leave. So I already mentioned that, right? They become more insecure again. Okay, now what is number 7? 7 is Ketu. Okay, so actually in Jyotish they refer to number 4 as a mirror, because if you know, number 4 is Rahu, which is a shadow planet. Okay, and Ketu is also considered a shadow planet. So Rahu is actually considered, referred to more towards uh, Saturn. Okay, number 8. And Ketu is more referred towards Mars. Okay, which is a number 9 in Jyotish. Okay, so so sometimes when you're thinking about it, you know that these are the numbers that have got similar traits but a little different. Okay, yeah, but as I had mentioned, Rahu is the head, Ketu is a headless planet. Okay, it is a shadow planet, we call it a shadow planet. Okay. Okay, so what is 7? 7 has no head, right? So he has to think from the heart. So detachment. Okay. In introspection. So looking within, right? Um, and then so they are, self-awareness. Now, what do they say? That if you know the story, when it comes to Christianity, they say that on the 6th day, right? God made man, and on the 7th day he rested, right? So what did he do? He said, I did everything good. I am done. Now I'm going to rest, right? So that's the reason why they say it's introspection. So now God needed to think, what is next? I need to rest, and then I need to see what I need to do next, right? So these are just some of the little tidbits that I like writing. When you have a number 7, quite often, and it has happened to me, where you can get disappointment, deceit, cheating, people taking advantage of you, stuff like that. So usually we tell anybody with a 7 in a personality or destiny, do not lend any money. If you do, consider it as a donation, because you're not going to get it back. Okay, the chances of coming back is very low. Okay. The other thing, so when I wrote that, so say for example, one of the things is that if you go to the government office and you want to go get your passport done, so you take this person with a number 7. Apparently they help you to, they say some people, when they get into a shop, suddenly just one person comes in and suddenly, like, it starts getting busy, right? They bring the positive energy with them, right? If you notice, I don't know if you know, but there's some people that bring the positive energy. So this is number 7 for you. Okay, that will bring in the positive energy for you. Suddenly there's nobody in the shop, and suddenly number 7 comes and buys something from you, and it's just like full on busy. So that's number 7 for you. Okay. If your things are not working out, take this person and things will start working out. Okay, so number 7 is a blessed, actually it's a lucky number when we look at it in Vedic astrology. It's because it's right in the center of the grid. If you look in Islam, they say 7 is a lucky number. Even in Vedic, we say 7 is a lucky number. Okay, but sometimes what happens is that when you go into more than 2 7s, they have a hard time listening. They're very good researchers. Okay, number 7 are very, very good researchers. They will go to the depths of the research. Now, in Christianity, actually, what they used to do is priests and priestesses, if they had a 7 in their grid, they would make them a priest or priestess. Right? It's just that in the past 150 to 200 years, we've stopped all this numerology, astrology, and stuff like that. We've moved away from it. We're moving away from it, but we're now coming back to it, right? So occult science was looked down upon. But when you look at somebody with a 7, they usually try and make them either a priest or priestess because they are very good at research. They're into detachment. They understand the concepts. They understand the concepts of karma and stuff like that. So they would be very good in occult science. They receive a lot of disappointment in relationships. Okay, because it is a number of detachment. You need to detach from the attachment. So in any religion, in any meditation, and anything, they say detach from it. Right? You got to detach to, like, if you're overly attached to something, what happens? Things start running away. If somebody just keeps clinging at you, you're like, oh, like, stay away. That's basically what it is attachment, right? So number 7 is a number of detachment. Okay, so what happens is that if they attach themselves to somebody too much, right, the other person can feel it. Okay, there we go. I don't, yeah. Okay, so number 7 has got, if you see, they do get heartbreak and disappointment, as I mentioned. Someone will take them for granted, so they get taken for granted very easily. As I mentioned, if they lend any money, they will get disappointed, right? They're taken as emotional fools, basically, right, in the system. Okay, they trust blindly. That's the biggest problem you will face with them. So whenever you see somebody with a number 7 personality or destiny or too much in the grid, just tell them, stop. Don't give your money to anybody, right? And as I mentioned, they would do very good in occult science. Okay, and it just gets worse and worse. So the more 7s they have, the luck reduces. So it goes in reverse when it comes to 3 and 4. Okay, their luck goes in reverse. Okay, they have to put in a lot of effort to make life happen for them. Okay, these ones, if they have 3 7s, then you got to handle with care. They've got too much disappointment, too many financial issues. Either they will be overly spiritual or have extramarital affairs. Okay, because attachment, extramarital affairs, and spirituality, because there's detachment, right? They may have multiple marriages as well, lots of separation. Okay. Apparently, they say these guys, if they get married at least 2 or 3 times, sometimes even. Okay. So if it's a male, they can have marital issues, as I mentioned. They could be a playboy even. But positively will take the person towards spirituality. Okay, so as I mentioned, they tend to go a lot to spiritual places. So they believe in spirituality a lot. They know that there is something out there that is spiritual, right? Because there's detachment to it. Okay, then we move on to number 8. Okay, shunny money, right? Shunny money. We always say shunny money. Okay, and that is what it is. Okay, it's a number for wealth. Okay, money, financial management, and these guys are very good at accounting. They would do very well as judges. Okay, so they would do really, really good in that. Okay, um, uh, they would be good at handling their home finances. So if you want somebody to handle your finances, give it to a number 8. Okay, they're very good. They don't trust easily. They will not blindly trust, like 7 will blindly trust, right? Shut their eyes and sit over there. But number 8, they will not trust blindly. Okay. I guess these days everybody has got more than 2 bank accounts, right? Who doesn't have more than 2 bank accounts these days? It's just something that we just wrote over there, right? But most of us these days have got more than 2 bank accounts, right? We've got a DTB and ABSA or something or the other, okay? Uh, if they have 2 8, then they're very hard to convince them to believe you. So they are very skeptical. They will not easily trust you, right? Of course, they're taking care of your finances. They're looking at karma. They're the judge. They need to weigh out they need to weigh out what you're saying. Is it true? Is it not true? What is not, right? What is your perspective? I don't understand. They do not like being sugar coated. So if you're very sweet and you're trying to sugarcoat, they do not like that. In their personal life, they'll need to work hard to grow. So, which I'd already mentioned, number 8 has to work hard. Okay, it's the slowest planet in the solar system, so they have to work hard. Okay. um they're not willing to learn from others, so it's sometimes harder for them to learn from others. They prefer learning from their own experiences. So if there is any experiences, they prefer to learn on their own. Okay. They do not like being in new atmosphere. So if you take them somewhere, they would rather stay, sit and observe the atmosphere. They cannot handle too much chaos, okay, and new spaces. They always have enough to sustain themselves. So I think I'd mentioned that last time, that a number 8 will always have enough to survive, right? They will never have a situation where they cannot put food on the table. With a number 8, number 8 will always have enough to survive. Okay. If they're a male, they're very devoted to their family and good with property. So they're very good with property. Okay. So number 8 anyways is a shiny money, right? So property, good. Okay. More than 3, so if they're 3 or more, they're very egoistic and stubborn. They're good at finance and money management, as always. They have multiple bank accounts, as everybody does. They can be a little stingy. So everything that I said in the 1 and 2 can go in reverse. Okay. They have so much money, they don't know where they have it. So sometimes what happens is this number 8, they keep their money in the drawer and they forget. They keep their money in the car closet and they forget. And like they have money everywhere, right, for a rainy day, but they tend to forget that they have money there, right? So that's a multiple of number 8. Is that you, Shilpa? Do you do that a lot? Yeah, see, I know. Because I remember you are an 8. Okay. They have so much money, they don't know where. So, and then they do not trust others very easily. They tend to do better when they live away from their family, right?
But
They
I
huh?
lose my money very easily because of that.
But you'll find it. No, it's not like it falls on the street. Shilpa, where does it
No,
fall?
no, but I just can't find them sometimes.
Because you forget, but it's safe. You've kept it in a very safe place where you even can't find it, correct? It's safe. It's safe in a safe place where you even can't find it. How's that for you? They like to follow the law because they understand. Most of the people with a number 8, they know the the number 8, what goes around comes around, what goes around comes around, right? There's 2 circles to it. What goes around comes around, right? What goes around comes around. And quite often, those that have number 8 generally understand the law of karma. Okay. They would be very good employees and they like their moral values. So again, I say what goes around comes around. Okay. Then when we get into more than 3, 4, 8, okay, same as 888, right? Generally, when it is 4, 8, it's the same as 88, just a little bit more amplified, okay? But it also has may cause things to come slowly to the person. So when it's 4/8, it's a little harder for them because they got to work harder, right? Now, when we get into Vedic astrology, we say that there is, they call it Mahadasha and Antardasha and stuff like that, right? So what happens is it just amplifies it. Okay. Okay. Some of the things that if you have lots of eights, some of the things that you might find is issues with back pain, knee pain, joint pain, ankle pain. Um, these guys would do very well, number eights, as well as orthopedic surgeons. So anything to do with bone. Okay. So orthopedic surgeon, they would do very, very well. Okay. Number 9 is the number of Mars. Mars is a hot planet. So again, I will say number 9 needs to work out, okay, because they become more aggressive as they have more nines in their grid. Okay. They're very helpful and intelligent, very courageous. It is a number for humanity. Okay. Number 9 is the last number. So whenever you're looking at from 1 to 9, it's the last pure number we have. Okay. And anything, if you say you've got 14, okay, so you do 9 plus 5, right? We'll give you a 14. It turns to a 5, right? 4 plus 1 is 5, correct? Right? So it's a pure number. Okay. So if you have 9 plus 1 is 10, right? But it turns out to be a 1 after that again. Right? Make sense? 9 plus 1 gives you what? 10. Yeah. Anything you add to the 9 turns back to the other number, right? What I mean by that, let me show you. So it's considered a very pure number. 9 plus 1 equals to 10, which equals to 1. Okay. Now, if you do 9 plus 5 equals to 14, 4 plus 1 is 5. You see the concept? You understand? Bansi, you understand? Yeah, I can't see Pina. I don't know where she is. I'm assuming she's around. She's frozen over there, right? So 9 plus 4 is 13, which equals to a 4. Make sense? Yeah? And if we keep going on, 9 plus 6, 15, which gives you a 6 again. Okay? So it is not only the end, the last of the whole the numbers, right? It is a number also of completion. So when we do the next class where we're going to talk about personal year more in detail, we are looking at number 9 as a year of completion, a year of finishing whatever you started the last, in the last 7-8 years, right? Complete. 1 is the year of starting. Okay. So what is number 9? So anybody with a 9, be it personality or destiny, and too many as well. Okay. So we're looking at it's a humanitarian number. Okay. Most of the people with number 9s are very soft-hearted, very humanitarian. Okay. They're very helpful, very intelligent. They're very courageous. They're action-oriented. Number 9 is what? Action-oriented, right? They would do really good in if they were in the army or the navy, like army or anything to do with war. They would do very well. Okay, because they have that aggression in them. Okay, they're very helpful and giving. They're very humanitarian. They can be verbal. Okay, and they will tell you right as it is. They will let you know right there and then. Okay, if they don't like it, they will let you know. We say palme masha palme tola, they say, right? they switch their um uh their um their mood can switch at an instant. It's like switching a coin, right? They are very quick to switch their mood like this at an instant. Okay, so you just have to be a little bit more cautious or conscious when they do that. You're like, oh, this one is a number 9 for sure, right? And I've had a few people that are number 9s. I seem to attract a lot of them, and I can see that. I've seen that. They can be very jolly, but the next minute they can turn on you very fast, right? um they like announcing their good deeds, so they love to be put on a pedestal. They want to be put on a pedestal, right? They will always try and announce, oh, I'm good, I did this, I did that, I did that, they love to announce their good deeds. Okay, and they want to be, they like to show off. Okay, they like to be put on a pedestal. They have they to them their image is everything. So some people say, oh, my family image is very important. We have that a lot in our culture. This is one of them. Number 9s. Okay, they're very, very particular about their family image. Okay, um these ones also should avoid lending money. Okay, because what happens is they're very humanitarian, so sometimes people do take advantage of them. Okay, again, if you remember, I had just said number 4 has got similar traits to number 8, and number 7 has similar traits to number 9. So here it clearly indicates and shows they should not be lending money. Okay, so this is one of the things again. Okay, because they have a hard time asking, and if they do ask, sometimes what happens is it doesn't always come back. Okay, if they're in love with someone, they will do anything for, so they will, if they're in love with somebody or they like somebody very much, they will go to the end of the earth to make sure that person gets whatever they want or need. Okay, um they if you've had issues with them, they can be very vindictive. Okay, they can turn on you very, very easily as well. Okay, um they also get very attached to their mom or mother-in-law. Okay, so these are some of the ones that they'll love their mother-in-law or mom and stuff like that. They're very um motherly loving individuals. Okay, they can be very short-tempered, as I had mentioned. Number 9, short-tempered as always. They like putting people down. So if they have 3 ones, they'll start putting people down very easily. So like I mentioned, that things start going in reverse when there's 3 and 4. Okay, so everything will go in reverse. Okay, they can be very critical. They should pick their battles wisely. Okay, they're very sensitive. They will do everything to harm the opposite. So what happens is that these guys are very vindictive anyways, and I'd mentioned that, but now imagine more vindictive now. Okay, if you have more 9s, usually you will not find somebody with 3 9s. I haven't seen anybody with 3. I've seen somebody with 2 9s. No, actually, I do know somebody who's a 3 9s. But she has a lot of health issues, though, right? They come with a lot of health issues. Because they will have a lot of issues with blood related. Number 9 is blood related health issues. So that's one of the things you will see. They'll have a lot of blood issues. They will, if it is a 9-year as well, when we look at the years, you will see that on the 9th year, sometimes you will either have a surgery or blood loss or something to do with blood. Okay, blood related. Okay, but these ones, they will have a lot of blood issues, anything to do with the blood. Okay,
I have a query,
ask.
Fazana.
Huh?
I know a lady, 23/8/1994.
Okay, just a second. Oh, what did we do here? Okay, let's put that in. And this one has got what? What is it?
3 9, 3 9s. Is it correct? I have done the Loshu grid. It comes 3 9s. Destiny is 9 and 1994. I have placed 9 correctly.
Okay. Give me the date of birth again.
23/8/1994.
Personality is 5. Destiny is 9.
9. Yeah.
So now so we go 2 3 1 second, sorry, 2 3 0 8. Okay, so you got 2 3 8. What am I doing? Oops. 3 1 9. No, 1 second. This is not. Why am I doing it again? You didn't tell me that was a Vedic grid. See, that was the Vedic grid. 492 3 5 7. I did that again. 3 5 7 8 1 6. Correct? Yes. Okay. Okay. You should correct me. You guys should correct me. I'm doing the Vedic grid.
Fazana, we can't see the screen.
Huh?
We can see the screen. We can see the screen what you're doing.
Oh, that's why you couldn't correct me. There we go. Oh, okay. 4, okay. 2 3 8 1 9 9 9.
Yes, Destiny and
Correct? 9 9
is
9 4
1. 5 is there also.
5.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. So 3 9.
Yes. So this person
She
is probably very aggressive.
she is staying with her grandmother.
Mhm.
Mother not yet married. Mother left her and married to another guy. So the
Why left?
grandmother has this girl.
She's very difficult to deal with.
Yes,
Yeah. There you go.
and
She's
she's
got.
a nurse.
She's a nurse. She's got her mental plane right there. Right?
Yeah.
She would do very good in business. So what's the? She should find somebody with this.
She is very much scared of getting into a relationship.
Yeah, because she's missing this one here.
Yeah.
And she's probably very aggressive. She can probably be very verbal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
Huh?
if it is no, means no.
Yeah.
Then
She
you
can be
can't,
very aggressive.
and you can't convince easily.
Yeah, because she's got this, right?
Yeah. 3 9.
Yeah, she can be aggressive, she can be verbal. And she changes her mind with, like, she can switch, like, within a second. So what are you, so what is your question? You're looking to
My
put her
question
in an
was,
arranged marriage?
when I
She
was
would do better
practicing
in,
the Losha read, I placed 3 9. So I was just confirming Is it the right I have placed this, the Loshu grid?
Correct.
I've
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Because
She
whenever
should have an arranged marriage.
she's going to have arranged marriage.
No, I said she should, because
Okay.
she's missing a 7 and she's missing a 6.
Okay.
She has a 4.
Yeah. 4 is there.
Yeah, but still she's missing a 7 and a 6, right?
Hmm.
So it would be better for her if she got into an arranged marriage. She would have that's the reason why she's having a hard time finding somebody, is because
Hmm.
she feels she's too aggressive for this person. She can't handle being in a relationship and nurturing it.
So whenever I get time, I just do the Loshu grid and try to
Good.
analyze what's
Yeah.
there, what's missing, and all that.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's the most important thing. That's how we do it. I will show you some of the grids after we stop recording that we did in research as well. We're doing some research as well for our own. You see, when you are in this industry, you keep researching, you try and see what you can find as commonalities. I mean, I've done already more than 100 grids. If you look at it, so many grids, I can't even start counting. I've done clients more than 100, but then what about my friends? What about family? What about others that just make me sit over there? Sometimes I go somewhere, and there was one day my friend said, okay, we're going for coffee. Oh, can you do my daughter's grid? Can you do my son-in-law's grid? Can you do my this one's grid? Can you do my that one's grid? And that's not in my list, right? So now imagine how many grids I must have seen. Sometimes, my friends go, oh, my birth date. And I'm thinking, you don't even ask me when your birth date is, because I don't remember. Because I've seen so many grids. When you see so many numbers, you're like, okay, that's it. It becomes an automatic, right? It's almost like, okay, I can see it, I know what's going on, my job is to make sure I get it done. So it's very important, it's very good that you're doing that, Pina, and keep doing that. Actually, I would recommend Bansi and Shilpa also do that. Get your friends, get your family, do the grids, and then once we're done with this, and once Shilpa and them are done, Sapna and them are done level 3, I want to create a group so that we can discuss these, because that becomes case studies for us, right? We have it's like how when we do advanced levels, right, we do case studies. So we've done case studies of right now we're looking at how relationship case studies, right, how certain relationships have worked out and what is it that they have on their grid, right? What about politicians? I'll show you what I've done as well with politicians. I've done like 50 of the politicians we did in a class. We did around 10 of them together, right? So these are the things that are very important because you learn from it. Okay, so let's keep going. Number 9. Okay. Yeah, pick your battles wisely. They are very sensitive. They will do everything to harm the opposite. So they're basically vindictive. Okay. If they start fighting, they don't care whether you're right or wrong. They want to be right. Okay. Quite often, actually, they've found that anybody with a number 9, if you take them to court, they will win the case. Right. The thing with number 9s, actually, if they have more than 2, they tend to doubt themselves. So like you mentioned, Pina, she doesn't believe in herself. She's having a hard time believing in herself in a relationship. Okay. So basically you should tell her, trust yourself. Okay. All right. So we have done that. Now, do you have any questions on that? Any questions, guys? No? Okay. So can we go to decoding of the grid? Did we do this? We didn't do this last time, right? We haven't done this? Decoding of the grid? No? Okay. So this is where you're missing numbers. I'm pretty sure we've not done that. We've not done it, right? Okay. So ready? Yes, you got your paperwork? Yes? Okay. All right. So what is number one? Sun. Sun is what? Leadership, communication, you know, being the boss, we call him. King, right? He's the king. So, if you're missing that, what happens? You're lacking communication skills, lack of confidence, because the king is very confident. When you see the king, he has to be confident because he's leading the people, so he has to be confident. Okay, so some of the remedies we usually ask those that are missing number ones, and we don't get into remedies. These are just things that I'm giving you to write. Remedies are not something that I would recommend to anybody as yet, until you understand the full spectrum of the Losho grid. Okay, and generally what happens is remedies are given with once you've learned the Losho grid and the Vedic grid. Okay, so Surya Namaskar is good. They say, you give water to the sun god. Okay, we jal charave to the sun, to Surya in the morning, right? It is also a water element. So what do? You ask them to drink water. Lots of water. Okay. Sometimes, if you go to the temple, they will give you a red string to put on your, yeah. And then, as always, avoid wearing black. Black is a color for number 8 for Saturn. So 8 and 1 are not best friends. So altogether, we always say avoid wearing black anyways, but number 1, for sure, we ask them not to wear black, okay? Number 2, lack of sensitivity, intuition, and observation, okay? So everything that is the positive of number 2, when you don't have it, it's the negative. So we went over repeating numbers. This one will give it to you in reverse, okay? Monday, usually you go to the temple, right? Is related to Shiv Bhagwan. So you can go to the temple on Monday. Okay. The other option is walk under the moon. Usually around the ascending moon cycle. Okay. Drink water in a silver glass. Okay. Right? And try and wear silver. Now, we don't ask everybody to wear silver and gold, etc. So if you're missing a number 2, yeah, you can wear silver. But if in our Vedas, we say that women should wear a silver touring to help with they wear gold in their ears, or on the upper body, on the lower body, we wear silver. Silver is basically also to help with your uterus, your um your sexual organs, basically, okay, and your uterus and stuff like that. Okay, so that kind of helps with your menstrual cycle as well. Okay. Now you avoid black again. Okay, the color for this one is white. Okay, and it's also an earth element, so you wear crystal. Okay. Number 3 is Jupiter. Lack of number 3 is lack of creativity, lack of imagination. Um, these guys, they may have had a good education or had a break in their education. Okay. So number 3, obviously, if they come from a good family, they may have had a good education, but quite often somebody with number 3, they may have had a break in their education. Okay. But that is if they're lacking it. Okay.
If they
The-
don't have 3 in the Loshu grid.
if you don't have 3 in the Loshu grid. Quite often what happens is if they're missing a number 3, they might be educated, but they're not practicing in that field. Okay. Number 3 is obviously a pure number. It is a number of guru, right? When you look at the mythology, it is related to the guru, right? So avoid non-veg. We usually ask number 3s to avoid non-veg, liquor, okay? And avoid wearing white. Okay. Number 4 is Rahu, lack of discipline. Okay, so you want to add a wood element to it. Okay, number 5 is Mercury. Now, what is Mercury? Stability, the center of the grid. Okay, so if they're lacking 5, they're lacking stability, lack of emotional balance. Okay, it's also an earth element, so you can ask them to wear crystals. These are simple things that you can still do because any crystal you can wear, right? Generally we ask for quartz crystal to wear. Okay, 6 is Jupiter. Jupiter is related to home and family, luxury. Okay, so lack of home and family support. Don't expect support or help from family and friends. Okay, I think I mentioned to you that if the person who is missing a number 6, and if they're having a love marriage, quite often the family will not accept. So again, what is there? Lack of support from the family. Okay, what are the remedies you can do is wear gold watch with the metal strap on your watch, gold. Basically you can wear gold because it's a color of luxury, right? It's color of number 6. 7 is Ketu. It's a very important number, considered a very lucky number when you look at it in the Vedic grid. Okay, so this we usually don't ask them to add. Why do you want to add this number? Quite often you don't want to add this number. Okay, because in Vedic they say that the less the numbers, the more empty your grid is, the better it is. While when you look at Loshu, they say the more full it is, the better it is. Now it becomes complicated, right? So how do you do it? How do you balance? Quite often you don't put the century anyways in the Vedic grid, so it reduces 2 numbers for you, right? So you do have these are the questions that come into play. Okay, then lack of so you can put silver metal, so wear silver, right? If you want to add number 7. Quite often we don't ask people to add 7s in their life. Okay, there's a few numbers we don't. 1, 3, 5 and 6 are the numbers that are good for everybody in general. Okay, okay, number 8. Now lack of, so if you don't have number 8, if you know, uh number 8 is a number that the Chinese love. Okay, why? Shani, money. Yeah, but it is hard work. Okay, so these guys who don't have a number 8, I don't have a number 8, lack of wealth or generational wealth. So quite often you have, even if there is generational wealth, you will have challenges receiving it. Okay, they may have some difficulty saving money, so it's always good to have somebody in your if husband and wife, they complement each other with that would be good. Okay, if they don't have this, then best give your money management to others. Okay, so if you don't have number 8, then you're better off giving your money to be managed by somebody else. Okay, it's also a earth element, and you should try and wear crystals. So avoid wearing black in general, and help the poor. So what is number 8, right? If you say, for example, have a 8 year, quite often it's a year of karma, right? So whatever you put in that 8 year brings you lots of benefits in your future life, and in general anyways you should be donating anyways. Okay, number 9, as we said, lack of number 9 is lack of humanity. Would be best to have double 9s. Okay, so as we had mentioned, double 9s is good, but triple 9s was too much. Okay, avoid alcohol. So we also ask number 9 not to have alcohol. Why? Because of aggression. Alcohol and non-veg actually makes you more aggressive, right? What did the warriors do when they went into war? They would eat more meat because that would make them more aggressive. Okay, again, wear a red thread. They can wear a red thread if they're missing a number 9. Okay, some of us have too many 9s. If we were born already in the 1900s, we've already got our 9s, okay, in there. Okay, do you guys remember, have you seen this? You guys have this? The grid with the thought plane, will plane, action plane, mental. This is just a cheat code. Do you guys have that? Can you see it? Yes or no? This one? You all have it? So this is just something that's just a cheat code. So if somebody has got 438, you know, okay, they've got, you know, they've got the thought plane in there, right? 951 will plane, 276 is action plane, 492 is mental plane, 357 is emotional plane, 816 is practical. Okay, so these people, when they have these, kind of gets you to help you to understand the grid a little bit more. Okay. Okay. All right. Next. Now, I guess we have gone through everything. Did I go over the karmic numbers with you? Not yet. Okay. So we haven't gone over these ones. The challenging combinations. Did we go over this? No? We haven't gone over it. Okay. So if you remember when we were doing our personality and destiny, okay, we had some challenging combinations that we needed to go over. Yeah. And these are some of the combinations that quickly remind you, right, that are not best friends. And what happens quite often, if they have these numbers, there are some things that are off balance. Okay. Right. So when they have like a 2 and 8, because 2 and 8 are not best friends, right? It's the queen and uh we call him the stepson. Okay, so you know, in mythology we talk about the king, and then the queen had gone away to go and pray and left Chaya, her shadow, to take her place because she did not want to let the sun god know that she was gone away. And in the meantime, when she was gone away to meditate and pray, Chaya had a baby. Baby was Shani. Shani Dev was the baby. So the queen did not like that Chaya had a baby while she was gone, right? And Shani Dev was the baby. So that's why Shani Dev is a little darker, okay, a slower planet. But on the other hand, uh, the sun god had kicked out Shani Dev out of the palace, and to the queen, right? The queen, the sun's queen. He was we call him a stepson, right? So stepson usually not very much liked by the stepmom, right? So 2882, 36, we say Chhattis ka ankara, which is 36. They face each other, right? Now, in Hindu mythology, what that means is that 3 is the guru of the devtas, they call it the gods. Okay, so there's 3 planes, as we had discussed before. There is the gods, the humans, and then we have the lower planes, right? We call the Danav, we call them, right? So the demons. Okay, so number 3 is the guru of the gods, right? And number 6 is the guru, Venus is the guru of the Danavs, right? Now he was more than a guru. He's the one who keeps the demons in check, basically, right? So he basically keeps the demons in check. It's like Saturn. Uh, Saturn is also, when you look at mythology in Christianity, he is considered Shaitan, we call him, right? Right. So what do you call it in English now? Lucifer. His name is Lucifer, right? He was the one that was kicked out of the gates of heaven. Okay. He was not kicked out of the gates of heaven. Basically, God noticed that he has got similar traits to God. So he needed somebody to take care of the demons. Otherwise, the demons would be going haywire. Somebody needs to keep them in control, right? So 3 and 6 still, number 6 is the guru to 3, if you really look at it, because at one point, okay, Brahaspati had gone to Venus to go and learn some of to get some knowledge. Okay, so number 6 is still guru to number 3, but they still don't get along because they live in different planes. Okay, 8 and 1 again, Saturn and Sun. Okay, not best friends. 9 and 4. Okay, 9 is Mars, 4 is Rahu. Again, 4 and 9. 9 and 9, if you have a 9 and 9 quite often, because 9 is related to, when you look at health, is related to blood issues, anything with blood related issues, number 9 and 9 will have that for sure. Okay, because aggression, double aggression. And we just talked to Pina, this lady has got 3 9s, but she only has 1 9 as her destiny. Okay, so which does not carry as much weight if it was a personality and destiny. Okay, 7 7, what happens? Detachment times 2. Okay, now 2 4, Queen and Rahu. Okay, what happens with 2 and 4? 2 is Moon, moody. 4 is Rahu, which is a planet, a shadow planet that only has a head. So a lot in the head. Okay, bring them to the heart is very hard. And same thing with 4 and 2. Now with 4 and 8, Rahu and Saturn, right? What happens with Rahu and Saturn? They would probably have a lot of money. They'll probably do really well. But where would be the conflict? You're putting two planets that have got similar traits. Okay, and same thing with 8 and 4. Okay,
These combination numbers are for personality and
destiny.
destiny. And if the
Correct.
partners, the one is 3 personality and other is 6 personality.
Do they match? Tell me.
No, no.
Right. So do they have issues? Do these guys have issues? What's the story with them?
Yeah, they have issues after a few years.
After a few years or right away? Or they didn't tell you
No,
this story?
no. After they must be having, but now I'm aware after 10 years of their marriage that
It's
they are
gotten worse.
having issues. Yeah, they have gone on the verge of separation now.
Correct. Because they don't get along at all. See?
Different personality. That is now I'm covering after doing all this, studying this.
Yes. So think of it this way, right? Brahaspati, right? According to Hindu mythology, Brahaspati is the guru of the gods, right? Okay. And then that is in Hindu mythology. And then we've got Shukracharya, yeah, who's the guru of the Danav. Dev and Danav, yeah. We've got Dev and we've got Danav. Correct? Though Brahaspati did come to Shukracharya to study, yeah, and learn, they still don't get along because they're on 2 different planes, right? We look at the 3 planes. We've got the Dev, then we've got our human life, and then we've got the Danav. Yeah? 3 planes we have. Correct? So that's what's happening, is that they have. Now, what are the options that we can work with? Is there anything we can do to help them? See? Swarg, Prithvi, and Patal.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. One is having double 4. One is the other partner is having double 6 in the Loshu grid.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's because anyways in the next session we're going to do this anyways, so let's do it now, okay? If you want to. What are we missing right now? I just want to make sure I cover everything before, because next week this is our second lesson. We have one more lesson, second lesson. This third lesson.
Second.
Second lesson.
Second. Okay. So I just want to make sure that we cover whatever needs to be covered in this session. So we've gone through this. We went through
Yeah.
this. Yes? Did we do this? No, we didn't do this last week. Did we?
What?
The personality destiny 1 and 1, 1 and 2. We haven't done this yet.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be our next. We've got half an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something else, and then we will cover this next week. Okay.
Okay.
This is a lot of, this one is a lot as well. So this is a personality destiny right there. See 7 and 9, right?
Yeah.
Because I was wondering, I was like, oh my God, I went through this really fast with you guys. Repeating numbers.
It's early today because we have a full moon meditation it starts at 10. We have to go
Okay.
to the
Oh, so yes. So we will finish. So it's, what's the time right now there? 9?
9:05.
Okay. So we'll leave. I will let you go 10 minutes early because you should be fine, right? 20 past is okay? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Should
All
be
right.
okay, yeah.
Okay. So let me quickly show you something. And since you're giving me something that you want to look at, can you see this? Oh. Okay. Okay. Give me the birth date. Pina?
Birth date of the
Yes.
lady is 6/2/1986.
Personality is 6. Destiny is
5.
okay. And male?
Male is 12/6/1984.
Destiny is
The personality is 3 of the male and destiny is 4.
okay. So he's the one that's holding the relationship together because he has a 4 right there. But that's fine. That's something we need to see. 1 second. They're well to do, right?
They're comfortable.
I like the way you say that.
Both, both are working and they have a child of 10 years old, one son.
Boy, right? Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah. One, two. Oops. 3. Doesn't have a 4. Okay. 1, 2, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 6, 9. There's an extra 1 there. 8, 4. Correct? Did I miss anything? Right? Is that right? Double check it.
Yes, yes. The Loshu grid of the male is, yeah, I got that.
Okay. All right. So let's go 6. 6, 2, 9, 1, 8. And there's a 6 right there. Right? Now. Right?
The
There's a
5
5.
destiny. Yeah,
5.
there is a, yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. So let me teach you something today. Okay. And then next week we'll go over the personality and destiny. So what happens is that when you're doing a relationship grid, okay, there's more to it than that because you also look at the names as well. Okay. But at this stage, we'll just do it as basic. So what is the male giving the female? Okay. So let's pick that. So the male is giving the female. You look at the numbers that the female doesn't have. So 4.
And
You only
3.
give 1 4, okay? Yeah. Giving a 4, giving a 3. Okay. What else? That's it? Okay. All right. Next. Let's pick a different color. Let's pick this. Okay. All right. Now, what is the female giving the male?
Only 5.
Yeah, only 5. Stability.
Right. But then who's the controller?
The male.
Why?
Giving out more. Is holding
Correct.
on to the thing. Yeah.
Correct.
But it was different before. The female was controlling day-to-day things. She was like she was ruling. It was her wheel everywhere.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But anyways, 1, 2, and this one has got how many yogs are they making? 2. So the way you look at it is you look at first, you look at do the P and P match and D match. Okay. So this is a wrong already. Okay. Then are they sharing minimum of 1 number? Yes. Do they already have yogs? Are they getting more than 1 yog? Yes. Are each of them having a yog? Yes. Okay. Is either of them sharing a 5 or 6 and have a 5 or 6? Yes. Now, how do you know if this person is having a boy? Quite often, if you have a 4 and a 6. Usually when you have a 7, that's a love marriage.
Both don't have 7. Both they don't have 7.
Correct. Both of them don't have 7.
It was a love marriage, then into the arranged marriage.
Right. So these guys have got 80%. So what can they do to change that? Do they want to save this marriage or do they want to not?
I know the girl, she wants to save the marriage, but boy is adamant to get separated.
Why? He's got another
According,
girlfriend?
it seems like, but he's saying that he wants freedom. He doesn't want this life phase of life, like you have to answerable to your family, you have to be committed to your wife, to committed to your son. He wants to be free. He wants freedom.
How old is, oh, 84. So these guys are what? In their 40s.
Yes.
So he's just switched over from his, see? That gives
Yes.
you an idea.
No, it's a development of last 6 months, these issues.
84. He just switched over to 41 this year.
Yes.
So that is a very clear indication for you. He's just moved from his personality to destiny. He's in his head now.
Hmm?
He's in his head now more.
Yes. Yes.
He's in his head more.
Yes. He's thinking with his head at the moment.
Correct. He's in his head more.
Yeah.
Now, what is his personal year this year? Did you
I
calculate that?
no, I didn't. This is the new development, so just I managed to do the low shoe grid and all this. Didn't go through
Okay,
personally.
let's do that together. What is the personal year? 2 and 1, 3, 3, 6, 9. This is a year of endings for him. Shit, man. 6.
Plus 6 plus 20, 5, 9, 9, 9, 18. What? 9.
Huh? 9, 10, 18, 24,
Number 8. 8.
6, 26. This is 8? Huh? Okay.
Yes.
Wow. This one's got 8 and this one's got 9. My goodness God. Okay. So let's go over this quickly for you. We'll do this and then you guys can disappear, okay? So
Okay,
I will
thank you.
1 second. Let me show you personal year. Where is it? So you guys can see what it looks like. Okay. So now this is the personal year. Okay, number 1. This is the personality that is attached to it. Okay, so I'm going to go through it. Now we said his is 3 personality.
Yes.
Okay. This is 9. Okay. And then hers is, what was hers? 6.
Personality is 6 and personal year is 8.
8. But what is 8 related to?
Shani.
Personality. There we go. Right. Can they not wait till next year to sort their lives out?
They wait till next year.
Yeah, why do they want to do all this Gandaveras now?
Yeah. If they listen,
I have a question.
Uh,
If
where is
all
it?
these things are happening, we are reading about these people and couple, whatever is happening, and we see the situation is not right. Don't we have any remedies for that then? Like you
What are
asked,
your
if they
remedies
cannot
you're
wait
looking for? You're looking
till,
for instant coffee?
sorry?
You're looking for instant coffee?
No, like as you said, can they not wait till next year? So how can, if someone comes to you with this problem, with this case, how will
Hmm.
you solve the problem?
Most importantly, counseling. You have to change the mindset. You see,
So
you
there
cannot
isn't
make them
any
aware
remedies for them.
until they're not aware of what the situation is. I'll give you an example. Um, because I go through this a lot with my own life, right? So what do I do with it? I will say, okay, let's get this off here. Okay. So how will I deal with it? My suggestion would be counseling. That would be my first suggestion. Okay. We cannot just give them any remedies, give them mantras and yantras and all these things. It's not something that I usually recommend. I personally will not recommend that. There are, yeah, you can give them if they're aware of how to use them, what to use them. You've tried everything. Okay. Yantras and mantras are only like Panadol and like me giving you, a steroid. Okay. But then the steroid will only work temporarily. You're going to go back to square one again. No. Yeah. It's the dust in your house. You need to clean up. Right. So then what is the option? The option is counseling. Okay. So how do you counsel these guys? So one is obviously you sit them down and say, what are the issues? Write them down. Here's a good example. What I do with mine these days is I will write down. I write a lot of things. There's something they call automatic writing. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's called automatic writing. And what automatic writing is that you actually just sit down in the morning, because morning you have the theta waves, right? Alpha waves, sorry. And when we say we meditate in the morning, why do they ask you to meditate? Because the power is much more stronger. You don't have all the garbage in your head from the day. So when you meditate in the morning, it becomes more powerful for you, right? It amplifies. So then same thing, right? You write down. It's called automatic writing. And what you do is you write in the morning, whatever you want. It's your private book. When we were little kids, we would either have a lock or something. It's your private book. Don't share it with anybody. And that's what I do. I'd write. And then in the evening, I will write again. Now, what happens is it first of all, it becomes your best friend, because sometimes we keep our thoughts, we don't write. Yeah. That's one of the things we ask these type of people. Write your thoughts in there. Okay. Write your thoughts, write your thoughts. Come back next week when you write every day in the morning and evening, even if it is like a one paragraph, doesn't matter. You start at the paragraph and then you go and you write. Like there's times where I write pages of it. And it's amazing, because when you go back and when you reflect, and sometimes you ask questions. So, oh universe, what is it you want to show me today? Oh universe, what is it you want to guide me through? Oh universe, I don't understand this. Help me out. And your higher self, right, which we learn in pranic healing, your higher self will come, and sometimes you will get these answers. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And when you write it, quite often it amplifies it, or it makes it more aware. You're more aware of it. And same thing with these guys, is that they need to be aware of their actions. They need to be aware of the situation. They need to be aware of the consequences. They probably don't know. He just wants to go. But is he aware of the consequences? Is he aware of the actions? Is he aware of what's going to happen? Right. So your only option, in my opinion, would be, the remedy would be talk it out. The other remedy would be write it out. Here's a book for you. Here's a book for you. Write. And then we come back next week, we'll talk. Okay, what did you write? What did you observe? Okay, let's sit down and talk. And counseling is the best option for them right now, right? We don't just give yantras and mantras that easily. That's not something we do. It's the same thing with pranic healing. Until the person doesn't accept the pranic healing and doesn't understand it, you can't give them any healing. Same thing, same thing, same thing. Okay? Yeah? So the best option is counsel them and explain to them, because if you don't know, like I explained to you, if you don't know there is a bump over there, you're going to speed up, and what's going to happen? Your car is going to fly. Yeah, same thing. If they're not aware, their car is going to fly. Why do you want them to fly? They need to slow down a little bit, right? Go over the bump. Yes, it's true. Number 8, his is a 9-year, which means that it is a year of completion, a year of ending, a year of, right? So why not, instead of completing your marriage, instead of completing your relationship, complete the fight, end the fight maybe, right? Complete your past negative memories, and like we say, holy, we kill the memories, we burn the negatives and bring in the positives. Same thing. So my opinion would be, start with, if you're looking at a solution, start with counseling. It's a longer route, but it is a long lasting route, right? If I give you, it's like planting a seed. You plant the seed and it will grow, but you got to nurture it, you got to take care of it. It will grow, then when it grows enough, it will give you mangoes. You don't have to take care of it, right? Same thing. But if I give you a steroid, there's side effects. Got it? Make sense? So we don't want
Thank
side
you.
effects. We want to keep the side effects away.
And it suppresses for a while, then it comes back again. Yeah.
Correct. And when you look at yantras and mantras, usually yantras is one of the things you would give in this situation. But yantra is not permanent. It's a temporary solution. What happens when that yantra is no longer doing its job? You're back to square one, and when you're back to square one, it is worse. It's like you catch a train. There's a very good saying: you catch a train and you're supposed to go from town to Nyali, and you end up in Mutwapa, right? What happens? You got to now revert back. No, your time is, right? It costs you more. You got to revert back. So why do that? Right? Try and solve the solution this way, where he gets his ticket right to Nyali and doesn't have to go to Mutuapa to come back to Nyali. Right? So, harder solution, but better solution, in my opinion. Okay? And let me know how that goes. Is he a family member or somebody else?
A close one.